outright disregard of President Muhammadu Buhari's speech and position that those on essential duties are free to move. Some overzealous police officers have now mounted roadblocks around Lagos and impounding vehicles. The police officer who led the team in Alausa said she was acting on strict orders from above. Health workers and journalists with identification cards were all detained and their cars impounded by the officers. The story is the same across the state. The health workers have called TVC News to confirm if the directives by the president has changed. On the day he announced the curfew, President Buhari exempted the essential service.
There will be an overnight curfew from 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. This means all movements will be prohibited during this period, except for essential services.
The Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 earlier thanked health workers and the media who are frontline workers in the battle against coronavirus. Now, TVC News Crime Correspondent Kanu is presently at the Alausa police station, and the management is trying to reach the government officials for clarity. Well, it's important to note that she's not covering a story. She is actually being detained while on essential service. Let's speak with our crime reporter now. Kanu joins us via phone for an update on the arrest of journalists and health workers in Lagos. It is embarrassing to think of the least words to use at this time, Ivy. What exactly has transpired?
Okay, Nifemi, I left the office this night, and on my way, I noticed that, the roadblocks had increased. I tried passing through, if you're coming from Third Mainland Bridge out to bigger side of the state, and I noticed that the traffic was terrible. I now turned to Alausa. Now I've been picked and I'm at Alausa police station. You have doctors, essential workers. The place is actually filled. Over 50 people are here. And I heard that the new instruction from today for the next 3 days is to, go after everybody, essential workers and non-essential workers. I don't know how long we are going to be here. The cars impounded here are over 20, and more people are coming in. So I really don't know if this is part of a new directive from the federal government or if it's just overzealousness on the part of the police officers.
Ivor, let's talk about the condition under which you are being kept. You mentioned that over 50 of you essential workers are actually being detained at the police station where you are. What more can you tell us about the condition under which you're kept?
Some of them have been taken into custody. They've been put into cell, and some are standing outside. I was asked to go to behind the counter. That's actually where I was until she came to announce that everybody should come out. So we are all outside waiting for the next directive. She said they should hand over our keys and we'll sleep inside our cars till tomorrow morning. We
quoted the president's position on this in his earlier address, where he exempted essential workers, journalists inclusive, from the curfew. It's also important to quote the Lagos State governor, who specifically said, I'm quoting him now, none of these directives apply to essential service providers. These people are expected to continue working as frontline workers whose services are deeply appreciated. Do you know on whose authority the police is acting as we speak?
I've made effort to try and find out who exactly gave them the directive. They say the directive came in today from from higher authority. So I don't know who they are referring to with such statements.
Okay, so what exactly are you hearing? What are they telling you? We understand that vehicles are impounded, people are detained. What is the next line of action?
she's not addressing anybody, like I told you. She just came in and asked that they should give everybody car keys, but that hasn't been effected, so we are still here. She came and said everybody should take their car keys, go into their cars and sleep there till tomorrow morning. And, we are standing here.
I understand how traumatic the experience has been for you, Ivy. You have been at work since Monday covering the COVID-19 updates, and to know that at the time you're supposed to return home, you are locked behind bars. I mean, it's interesting that you usually will cover this kind of a story, and you are now the story that we're talking about. There are attempts to talk to the Force Public Relations Officer Frank Kumba, and we hopefully will talk to him in the course of this bulletin. Ivy, Kanu, stay safe where you are.